Welcome to the Scott Outpost Investigators podcast. I'm your host, Softy Mage, and we got a co-host of Savadra,
Hello, hello.
and we got a co-host of Thirsty Blood,
Greetings, everyone.
and we got another co-host of Dio is Bored, or also known as Dio.
Blood for the blood god.
Let's go. That's how it
today-
should be.
So today we're going to do a live podcast of how to do ZZZ PVP and some basic intro on the subject, because this is where the Battle Hub server is mainly from. All of the people that we speak on here is from the Battle Hub server as moderators. So we are going to try this live today. We are going to go over the PvP, as in like how to set up an account, and then an example draft, and then we'll be doing a Q&A questionnaire afterwards. I will be marking down some good questions via YouTube chat, as well as we will be hosting Savadra's live chat on the right here.
Yep.
So,
Very nice.
Dio, can you explain briefly what is ZZZ PVP?
Oh, yes, I can. Basically, it is a selectable draft format where you take agents that you own that are scored based on their power and then face that against a roster, and you choose a format, you choose a draft type, and after the picks and bans, you go through the correct fights, and whoever gets either the lowest time or highest score will take out.
That's good intro there. So,
That's the gist of it.
yep. So we are going to be using the website called, oh my goodness, I didn't have that ready. Why is that not ready?
Darte.
You
Use
doctor.
Darte.
You Darte.
And we will be
Not to be
using-
confused with Dio Darte. That doesn't exist.
It is him, Darter.
So Savadra, you want to bring up the site and just sort of show just the intro of the site?
Sure. I'll just show my whole screen here, but this is the Shiu Darte website at shiu.darte or shiu.darte.gg. The website is basically used to collect all of your roster information regarding your agents and your engines, and you can then consolidate them into different size things from then on. Like basically, like I have this like thing here, and then you have 3 different profile tabs that you can choose from. I just have all of the stuff that I have on my account here in this profile, and then to fit specific conditions like certain cost ranges or different like specifications based on like whatever it is you're PvPing for, you can basically trim them down and select either your most used or like your best fitting agents for specific draft conditions. The cost systems that I mentioned are all based on different systems that are inherent to the site that signify what agents will, quote, cost, and basically determines an account's power. So the good old Trident Classic, I did not type that on accident, don't worry about it. The Trident Classic is the Shiyu Cup, tried and true classic system from the original site developers and the Russian community. But these have like specific costs for different agents, and you can look at their information. They also have like different scaling costs based on having certain mindscapes. So my Jufufu costs 135 with M1, but an M0 costs 85. Typically, A ranks do not have differing costs between their mindscapes, and standard agents also typically don't have a huge jump in cost difference.
Yeah.
it is mostly limited agents that have their different costs, and also like some systems kind of arbitrarily limit having specific mindscapes or not. We in the English community have systems that do account for having higher mindscape agents. So not all of them yet, but here, Jafufu, for example. You can also see Jafufu's costed different on our system compared to the Russian system. It's kind of a different in perception thing. But that exists for all of the agents and their mindscapes, and then also engine costs, which is somewhat different, but still follows the same core principle. They tend to scale in cost when you have higher refinements of specific signatures, and they also have different costs based on whether or not you have their matching agent in your roster or not. So notice, for example, my Sharpened Stinger costs 25 because I have Jane in my team, but I do not have Evelyn in my team, and so
It takes the base relationship from Haramasa.
yeah, Heartstring Nocturne is costed at 18, which is the default cost for that engine. So, after setting up all your profile there, of which you can basically do like a import agents thing from your Hoyle Lab profile. I'm not going to do all of that specifically, but it's pretty easy to do. You just go to your Hoyle Lab, copy paste, and then it imports the engine or the agents for you. The engines you have to do manually, but it's got like a selection system, so like you can just click on whatever engine you have. If it's like max level, it just kind of stays there. You can change refinement with the slider.
You can make a copy of it if you have multiple.
That is true. So you notice I have 2 copies of Hellfire Gears. Is because I'm able to click on this copy button, and it creates a second instance of it right here. You can also do this if you have like an R5 and an R1 or something like that, but that is generally what making the profile looks like. And then after that, you can move on into making your draft. Do you want me to also explain how to make the drafts? Or...
Nope. We will go to that in the second part of this. So we're gonna strictly stick with profile. If you want to bring back up profile, we're gonna use you as the driver for it.
Great.
So, what do you need to create a profile on this account? As in, like, you're getting your Zenless Zone Zero account ready to PvP. So, how many agents would you guys say that you need a minimum built?
Minimum build dependent on the actual format. So normally you'd want to have at least 10 agents built for single boss DA. About 15 or 16 for a 2-team format, just in case everything gets banned. Or like you have to do every agent. But I would say going 1 or 2 above that, depending on the format, would be really good. It gives you some versatility. A ranks especially are really good to build since they tend to cost less than their actual like in-game value. Not by much, depending on the format, but if you're doing like a Shiyu Cup, they are very low down there. They're in like the 10s, 15s, even if it's like Corrin against a physical, they'll put her at like 20 when she should be costing like 60 or something along.
Yeah. An average minimum for PvP is definitely around 12 agents, 12, 13 agents you have in your roster that are pretty much max leveled as good as you can, and you are able to play them. Because in the end, the draft system and our PvP definitely circle back to having the flexibility to play various team formats, and it basically also puts you into a position to play odd teams also sometimes. So you could say if you're like a new player and you are interested in PvP aim for like 12, 13 agents that you have leveled well enough. And with that, you can start doing PvP very comfortably, without any
you
bigger
can
issues.
run a good single boss with some to get some practice in.
I mean, even Shio is possible if you find someone who adapts to your 12 agents. This should work also.
Well, the problem is that with that you can't meet the minimum. I think it's like a 13 minimum.
Yeah, there
Was
are
it?
13 agents minimum for most Shiyu systems and double draft systems.
Yes. And 13 at least, yeah. I mean, I talked about the minimum average, so 12, 13 agents is definitely, or 13 agents for the Shio, yeah.
Yeah, as a like, the rule of thumb is definitely going to be like 13 or 14 agents will get you started in the right direction. And
Yeah.
also there is also an engine requirement as well. I think it's like smaller, but like
But that's like impossible to not cover.
yeah, like by just by
have
having
one sig.
yeah, just by having one signature, like one standard S rank, and then like most of the A ranks, you'll be fine.
There is the engine count minimum, but that's just the minimum amount of engines you're able to put on a. So, like, if you're running a 2-team format, the minimum engine number is 6. Of course, you'd have to be pretty crazy to do like a 6-engine lineup, but you sure would get first pick.
So, one thing by we mean built, as in like you are comfortable with playing that agent, and also the fact that you have the gear for that agent. Definitely with Shiyu defense, you have to have the disc sets for each team that you're going through without duplicating. So that's what we mean by built, as in like you don't have to do share disc with other agents. At least for Shiyu DA, if you have shared, that makes sense. But that is what we mean by built in general, and that you are comfortable with playing. Don't just, when you're building your account, don't just put all the agents you have in there and just expect to be good or be ready to fight. Just do the agents that you are comfortable with playing.
Yeah, so like I consider my profile too pretty good balanced thing of like agents I regularly play and kind of what I'm most comfortable with. Like you'll notice on my like main account I did like exclude Ellen from this. I do also like playing Ellen, and I'll probably end up changing this for some of the upcoming cycles based on what it ends up being. But like I have a good bit of confidence in pretty much every single one of these picks, regardless of which way I have to swing in like doing like specific things in drafts, or like whether or not I have to like specifically pick around a certain like opponent strategy. I like there are plenty of people who are at the point of like not having, say, like M6 Pulchra, or like I've seen some people even not have like M6 Nicole or just any other A rank, and also like having generally like lower level agents or engines, and you do not have to put them on your profile by any means. Like you have the option to start here, and I guess I will end up showing this in the end anyway, but you just go to your Hoyle Lab profile and you can copy paste from the all agents section. Just copy paste on the page, just Control A, Control C, and then go to this, click the @me thing, and then it will paste just everything you have. And the only difference that I had was I had recently built Billy, but
Same. A Billy.
like, yeah. This is just every single thing that I have on my account. And I can then save it from there. and you'll see my cost did go up because I added both Billy and Panyan Hu, but I'm not going to use a good majority of these agents given specific circumstances, so I can exclude them, and that's basically what I've done with my other profiles. Same thing goes for the engines, except you have to put those in manually, as I mentioned before. But when you don't have specific agents or otherwise don't have like a specific off-meta build that you're going to run, you can exclude certain engines to reduce your cost, or just for the sake of comfort. And having that lower engine cost does matter because you may not be able to play all of your signatures on all of your best agents. That should never be an expectation, but if you can get away with it, then it's good. You're able to get away with it sometimes, depending on how you draft. But yeah, general rule, 13 to 14 is a good starting point. I like to hover around having like 17 or 18 options usually. And like one good option in terms of like engines, signatures, or like high quality like S rank, and then some A rank alternatives is it'll get you in the right place like starting out.
So so we'll go to engines right now. Like your roster of engines, is it low cost or medium cost, or would you say high cost right now that you're showing?
As I'm showing it right now, I have 1, 2, 3, 4 limited S rank signatures, and like I have all of the agents that those signatures belong to. As well, I have 5 limited S rank signatures, but one of them I don't have the agent for because I don't have Evelyn.
Yeah.
And then I have a Fusion Compiler, which is costed kind of well, but I also have that for primarily Yanagi, which I notice is not on this profile. I should change that.
That's kind of weird. If I could give my assessment, from my experience when it comes to engine costs, this is a medium high, something along those lines.
Yeah, I believe this is like moderately like in that medium high range. Like it's definitely not low as I've seen. I have like some room to actually like look at this. I have some room to remove Flight of Fancy. I could also consider removing Weeping Cradle as well. And then these are my 5. These are my 5 S rank engines just overall. And then I have mostly A rank options, even though one of them is a Battle Pass engine. I'm sorry, 2 of them are Battle Pass engines. They're still costed fairly low. Lip Gloss is generally pretty good, but Weeping Gemini and Lip Gloss tend to be good for the anomaly agents. So they're
I think Gemini tends to be better.
They're a little higher compared to the rest of the A ranks, is what I'm trying to say. But other than that, after that point, like even if I were to remove like maybe 1 or 2 more of the A rank engine options, then it would probably hit into that low tier. But I think 200 is probably that like medium spot of medium.
So
yeah, so it's definitely
5 Weeping Geminis. Yes, of course. Well, we can show this, but there is indeed a user who has 5
With
built
5
Geminis.
Oh, are we talking about Mega Proto?
That is who it is. He's in the chat.
there's people who have 5 Lucy engines, 5 Weepings. Yeah, so
Like I could justify removing these 2. Probably this, but Yeah, that's fairly low cost, all things considered, actually.
So what we mean by low cost is the standard S-rank engines and also the A-rank engines that you can build, and that's the minimum that you should have on your account. You don't want to have all signature S ranks to be selected, and that's all you want. That's all you have on your account, because you could be low costed and not be able to actually have an engine on your when you're doing the draft system. So it is at least good to have a few A ranks, at least one for each of your that you can have for each of your agents when in selecting. So at least have like 2 or 3 support A rank engines, 2 to 3 attack A rank engines, and stunner and such and such. At least one for each agent as well. I mean, just in general. So, and I mean,
So there is a very sorry.
go ahead.
So you're done.
Go ahead.
There is a very interesting angle where you high cost, you get every engine, but you also have like 5 copies of the A rank engine.
Yep.
Just to say, oh, you cannot low cost me, but if you do high cost me, I still have those options.
Yep. That is my strategy for my account. Whereas I have the signature for each one of my agents, and then also I have an A rank agent or A rank engine that is able to be swapped out for the fact that if I have to for low costing for people who try to low cost my account. So that is my strategy on that front, but always make sure you have an A rank engine for your main character or for each character that you're going to play.
Yeah.
So let's see here. We got calculate costs. So you did go over the calculate costs in the intro. Agent score, like he said, depending on which calculate costs you have in the top right corner right here. That will depend on what your score is for that, but you can have a general score up here of the what you're more likely going to be playing. And I want to say some of the engine costs. If you want to pull that up, this engine cost does matter for when drafting. If you on your account have a lower engine cost than your opponent, you will be selecting your engines first, and then your opponent who has the higher engine cost will then be selecting. So if you want to play of just A ranks engines and just go in with a low cost, that is a strategy that people have, and they utilize that as so that way they have they can always start with the draft and try to just low cost people. Whereas Savadra has a medium score for his engines, so he'll be ready for each one. Or as myself, I have a high cost engine, so that way I can lowball or I can match whatever people lowball me.
We can take a look at that and compare, but I had like 234 on Double Boss DA for my profile. Softy has 349, so yeah, a good fair bit higher in terms of like
And this is
overall quality.
without having like multiple weepings,
Wait, you have
which is like
teapots, Softy?
He has 2
yes.
teapots.
I have
that
2
he does.
teapots because I didn't know
Damn.
when lighter was going to be reran, so I actually got a second teapot for lighter until he got reran. Then I got R2 by accident for his signature on the first 10
That's
pull.
crazy.
So that's why that happened.
interesting. I looked at it. Each teapot is costed differently because if I'm looking at this right, they're both R1, but
Yes.
one is costed differently because there's only one Qingyi. You can only have one Qingyi.
Oh, it's
It's
accounting for
lighter.
for being on Qingyi and then being on lighter.
That's
Mhm.
hilarious.
Fascinating.
So it's
I don't actually
actually
know that.
doing it properly. It's not
Yep.
just maxing out the cost because that's what you could do. It's
And then same for
doing it based on the character.
doing this based on Evelyn first, and then
General
having-
Brimstone.
Yeah, General
This,
Brimstone on the
this is
second.
how it.
Oh wait, no, that's R2. That's R2 Brimstone.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just got a second R2 or second Brimstone because I lost the 75-25 to Lucy, so now I had 3, so I might as well combine one. So that's why I just set that profile, or I just added that to my profile today.
But yeah, being able to determine the quality of engines and keeping your opponent's engine cost in mind is pretty crucial in given matchups. We can talk about that a lot more when we actually get to drafting, but as it currently stands, just know that it is actually quite important. I can even compare like my full account here with Softy's 349. I have 398, so if we were to play our full accounts versus each other, myself and Softy would get to choose his engines first, and that could be very useful for him and very bad for me, or vice versa.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we will go over drafting here. Is there anything else for profile creation you guys want to go over quick that I missed or that we missed before from my notes? If you guys have that pulled up.
I could always say.
If you're curious as to why one of my profiles has a check mark, it's just because I've labeled it as my default profile. You can change this to any of your profiles anytime, but it's not like super relevant or doesn't really mean anything except for ease of making drafts.
Yep.
Yeah. If you have a problem with anything have to do with the profile making, like something costs too much, complain to Dio.
Play the
Yeah,
Dio, the Battle Hub in the channel. Not
Dio
yet.
has the complete control of making the like numbers and things for all of the double boss DA system, the single boss DA system, and the EN Shiyu N4 to M6. So these are the systems that we usually play on for the English community. And if you're interested in join and play on those, and you have problems or feedback, then please do let Dio know, and he will take it into account accordingly.
Exactly.
Definitely.
Especially at that point, we can also say it openly here. If in case you are a player who has certain agents on M4, 5, or 6 that are currently on the cost 999, please
Or higher.
feel free, or higher, yes. Please feel free also to give a heads up, because we need data to evaluate those certain mindscapes. Like lighter, if you have an M6 lighter, feel free to contact us, and we.
Yeah, right now, Double Boss is our main thing that I have the data put in. Yidhari was just added, so that's why it's red. But if you look at like a Double Boss DA, most of them. Who the fuck is that?
What do you
Oh,
mean?
it's just evil Sambeer. Okay.
It might be Sammy after the buff, or
Wow,
Yeah,
this is
I-
crazy, I love it. This is like a little Easter egg.
interesting.
Okay.
But yeah, we can
I
look
thought
at
it was Yidhari. No, it's just evil Sambeer.
it's wild.
But yeah, if you, most of these are out of date. They will be changed. Oh, they're not exactly out of date. More so that the 999s haven't been changed. But if you look at Double Boss, most of them, if not all, should be changed. Except for Evil Sambi.
Yeah,
Evil Sambi is free.
few missing still, but it's yeah.
I can definitely help with the Yidhari later on.
And the place where you can also leave your disgruntles is the Battle Hub server. We do have a section for that. I will be linking it in the description of this video, and I'm trying to get that right now for the chat as well. We have been posting that as our main Discord for that we are hosting here, or that we host on. So yeah, I'm doing the ums and I'm losing it.
You can even see us in the voice chat right now if you're not in the server. You can't join us, but you can see us. You can say hello.
Yep.
Indeed.
I'm not looking at that chat, but
And you could get spoilers for the rest of our podcast. Looking in.
It's true.
there, I've linked it in the chat that we have for YouTube, and then you can link it in. Those of
It
you
was
probably are
already
on
in
there.
my Twitch channel.
Yep.
So, yeah.
Oh, I linked it again.
Let's
Cool.
go.
So
Anyway.
let's go to the how to draft. So we will just go over the example draft just to show what you need, what goes on with the drafting process, and then we'll go over some strategies we have after that process.
Great.
So,
So who wants to
Who wants?
play?
who wants to?
Do you want to play a game?
So we're only going to be doing the drafting game process. We're not going to be doing the fighting of the accounts through Zenless, because we expect you guys to know how to go through a Shiyu or a DA run yourself. So we are just going to be doing the draft portion of this.
Yeah. In that case, then we can do just the standard, I guess. You do a standard Shiyu draft. I guess I can do me and Softy just for the sake of it. Proof of demonstration from earlier. We'll use both of our full accounts just to kind of see what's going on. Why am I so much higher cost than you on
You
this?
might
What
want to do
happens?
profile 2 against, or is it?
Is
Okay.
profile account not your default one?
Apparently, your actual account is just way too high, but that's okay. This is why I have the other profiles made, so
Let's go.
we can
Yep.
we improvise. But yeah, so when you set the players and choose the system, you choose which profile they want to play, and then you can make the draft. Once you make the draft, you're presented with this menu that gives you the four.
I did fix the issue from earlier.
Okay. But this gives you the 4 links here for player 1, player 2, the judge, and the spectator link. So I will get Softy his link over there. And then I will open this on my own tab, and I will also have judge open just for the sake of it. And once you're ready, we can begin. So, Steve, did you see the link?
Yes, I
did
got the
post
link.
it in the chat. Okay. So, this part is actually new, but we now have the ability to basically choose which node we're going to play through pick ban phase prior to the actual character drafts. So, we can basically decide on a node to play, and then draft around that node once the node is chosen. So, just for example's sake, I'm going to get rid of that because I hate the frog, as I've mentioned multiple times on the podcast. And now Softy can ban one.
And I will ban 7 just to be funny. So we'll choose 6, right?
So we will be playing number 6, which means in this example draft, we're going to be drafting around the Miasmic Thracian and not the Jester. The Miasmic Thracian and Greta.
Why does that confuses me? Why does the
And under the
guess
judge,
I
automatic
guess the thing doesn't change. I can
Maybe in
change
the
it in the Judge tab, but this is a good opportunity for me to show the Judge tab, which is basically draft control, where I can do things like pause the draft if something goes awry, or if you want to do other things, you can then continue that. I can undo an action, and I can also change which room we're actually playing. So now when I click on this thing, it shows which one we're playing. Hooray! So, in the actual draft proceeding, you see there are a bunch of squares and numbers. The numbers determine the turn order. So in total, there are 16 turns. Since I'm player 1, I get my first ban first. But the red squares are bans, regulation bans. if there's a greater cost disparity between players' agent costs, dependent per system, but that also leaves room for pre-bans. Those were the purple squares that you saw when I was making the draft system. These
wanna
gray squares
pause it
are
quick,
standard
Savadra?
picks.
On Judge?
I'm explaining while the colors are.
Yeah. Oh,
there,
gotcha,
'cause if
sorry.
I pause it, the colors disappear.
Sorry.
But the gray squares are standard picks. Once you pick an agent, your opponent cannot pick it until the blue square, which we refer to as the mirror pick or the ace pick, basically lets you choose an agent that your opponent has already chosen if it's not banned. Bans are global between both players, so I'll do this as an example.
Or if it wasn't
to
already
ban.
mirror pig, which
Yeah,
is
that's
interesting.
true. You cannot mirror like other mirror picks, which is by website design, but we'll get to that. So say I want to ban Miyabi. So now Miyabi is banned and it is grayed out on both sides, and neither of us can pick it. So it is now Softy's turn. He can choose to ban one of my agents.
A good strategy when banning agents, if you do not have an agent that your opponent has, it is a good idea to probably ban that, so that way they can't choose, or they can't choose it.
Or if they have a
in
higher
their draft.
mindscape.
Or if they have a higher mindscape,
Yeah.
yeah. So I do not have Yanagi, so that is what I was going to choose for that because of the ban. Because I don't have that on my account.
And then after these initial bans comes the first picking of the thing. So now is where I choose an agent that I want to play into perhaps one or the other of these enemies. You don't always have to play into weaknesses. Playing the element neutrals is a good strategy to revolve around. But it's generally advised to avoid resistance as best as you can. For that reason, I also now know that like it's Ether Week, and I can keep consideration for Zhu on my mind. But I'm going to first secure probably one of my supports in the way of Yuzuha. Because the buff favors Aftershock agents, and Yuzuha is an Aftershock agent.
The buff favors Aftershock still?
Yes, it does.
Oh, okay.
So one of my best agents is Vivian, and to make sure I'm going to play her without it getting banned in the next one, I'm going to go in and select Vivian. And yes, she is probably one of my best build agents as well.
So as you can see, Softy gets another turn to pick a second agent after that.
What is the... So... Electric. That is going to be my worst one. So I'll wait to do that after. So I do have two M1s, and I might as well just select that, so that way I get both of those.
Vivian and Bernice. So whether he chooses to split that up or use both of them in tandem, it's basically secured a core for him, and I can sort of inform part of my next decisions based on that. But I'm also going to consider right now. Did you have something to say, Dio?
Oh, I was just saying, I forgot that it also triggers off of Aftershock. I mostly just think about the ultimate end.
Yeah, the buff does trigger from Aftershock for attack and rupture agents. So,
as
for
of
that
this
reason,
recording.
we're playing this based on CU season 32, I believe. So subject to change, but as per general strategy, because Juyen is still on my mind, and I also want to consider Electric Week. Yanagi is gone. But to put foundation on that, what I am probably going to choose now is definitely going to choose Jafufu. And I'm likely going to hit a second support just to have the grounding, and that will probably... Well, actually, the problem is I can't, because if I leave this open, he probably bans the Julian. So thought process tells me I probably secure Julian now.
I'm seeing an odd angle for you that you are just not taking. It kind of confuses.
It's thinking out the process. Is like going simple
Yeah.
in terms of kind of thinking things out.
Let's see here.
But the GN pick there is basically just, even if like anticipating the next ban, like even if he doesn't ban what I think he's going to ban, then it is going to be fine. I have a team arrangement of GN and Jafufu at least, and can start considering my second team.
So for myself, I'm gonna take this a little bit longer. I could do Haramasa as my pick here, so that way the only wild card that he can pick from my account is Bernice or Vivian or Haramasa into the electric weak part, or the ether weak part for Vivian, and that'll just lock in how many choices he has to go into that node. So that would be my strategy, but I am not as prone to Haramasa as I am to Evelyn, and I do not want my Evelyn to be banned. So I would actually go Evelyn on that front.
So because the option here now for the second ban is revolving around mostly that electric weakness, Haramasa would be a good ban if I didn't want to choose to play him. But as Softy mentioned, it's good to ban agents that you don't have, that your opponent does have. And thinking ahead, if he's going to choose Haramasa, or rather, if I'm going to choose Haramasa, it will likely be a later pick. And if he's going to choose Haramasa, one of the agents that he's most likely going to pick with Haramasa will be Qingyi. And so I'm going to instead ban the Qingyi instead of the Haramasa in order to cripple the power of that potential team.
So interesting, because I already chose Evelyn as an attacker, and now I just need all my supports on that for that. So I actually find that very interesting as a pick.
There might be a tunnel vision issue with some of this, but Qingyi is still a good viable ban, I think. Just
I could have used Qingyi.
Also misses a lot of potential power with Evelyn.
Yeah, I could have used Qingyi as a support for my Evelyn. But from your roster, I'm actually going to get rid of as much as I probably would like to use Astra. I don't want... Oh my goodness, what do I even want to do here? So to cripple your electric weakness or electric thing, I actually am gonna get rid of Haramasa, and that'll get rid of both, and I will use Evelyn as my main attacker for the second half.
So now you notice in this pick, it's on the mirror pick now. So he can choose any of the agents that he still has remaining that aren't banned, but also has now the option to choose either of Yuzuha or Jafufu for this pick, if he so chooses.
It is odd what I would pick. I will go over it after this.
Yep. So with the fact that Yuzuha is the primary support that could help me with my Vivian Bernice team, I'm gonna actually select Yuzuha for my mirror pick.
I would have went Astra.
Now,
to keep it from.
Now here's the thing that I could have picked Astra, which would have prevented Savadra to get Astra on his mirror pick. But
yes, because
I still
can't choose Astra if he chooses on the mirror pick specifically.
So, but I wanted to have Yuzuha for that particular team, because that is like one of my primary best teams right there.
As for me, my options look moderately limited, but because he did not choose Astra, or rather
You gotta
Lighter, I'm going to do the mirror on Bernice, and then I am also going to take Lighter out, so he cannot use Lighter with his Evelyn.
Yep, and that was a
Yeah.
good pick right there. So what I would probably do instead of Lighter is I'm gonna have to use Coleta, and I don't like that, but I will do it. And then support, I might as well take Astra, so that way I can get that all the primary supports on my team.
And so at the end of this, having already had in mind the Crit Bernice that I am very much familiar with, that's like an off meta thing that I am very much familiar with myself, but is like a good linchpin to kind of found your strategy on. If you have like that one obscure pick that people may not expect, kind of leaves those types of things open. But because of all of that, I am able to secure Nicole as my last pick. And then we go into the formation section, where here we arrange our teams, our agents into specific teams. They do not have to be arranged in the order that they are picked. So I can, from this point, put
Probably
like Julian,
like a
Nicole, and Jafufu at the top, and then run Bernice at the bottom. As
Crit,
such.
but they use the hot support.
Now, it's worth noting that despite the fact that Yuzuha does not give Bernice the crit damage bonus, because she's not an attacker, there is still...
You do have priority set.
Generally benefit. And... Oh, I do have energy priority. How did that happen? You know what? I'm not going to question it.
He doesn't restrict his engines.
Yep.
I'm not going to question it.
I usually have mine high cost, so that way I'm the one being lowballed, if anything.
I was fairly sure I was the higher engine, but that was probably on the account. And then I switched my profile. But anyway, yeah, so here's where having the lower engine cost comes into play. As you can see at the bottom here, there's this number max cost that is here for both of us. This basically determines the quality of engines that the match will be played with. Say I were to put two high costing engines like Brimstone on Julian is very good, and then Bernie's Signature, which will cost 28, and that will put my cost at 53. What happens is this increments in intervals of 5 every time you exceed it. So if I were to then go on to put another engine like this on Jafufu, it goes up to 60. And this also happens if I put stronger engines on just in general. Like if I put Laurel, goes up to 85 immediately. And so basically what this max cost determines is that went up for me, but it also went up for Softy. And so when you're looking at what engine Softy has, knowing he has Evelyn's Signature, knowing that he does have Flight of Fancy and Bernice's Signature as well, this basically allows him to, quote, match the quality of engines that I've put on my agents. Even though I have 2 signatures, but I have 3 really good engines. And then I could choose to lowball it here for the rest of this, ultimately because I have no other choice. But I could then also choose, if I wanted to instead not use Blazing Laurel, and to instead not use Flame Shaker Maker, and to instead not use Brimstone. And you see the difference in the cost here. Now he has to choose between getting all of those signatures on his agents. He has to basically compromise having 1 or 2 of them at most. And so that's most of where having the engine control comes in. For the sake of example, we're going to keep this at a moderately low cost, and Softy can give some insight as to how he would solve this puzzle on his end.
That is a good puzzle that I have to figure out. So you have 60. So one thing to point out here, both my Bernice and Vivian are M1s. So even if when I add the engine to them, that'll be a good portion of my cost right here. So I don't really think I'd actually want to do Vivian's weapon because she is a very high agent. I'm gonna try this.
I'll point out that mindscapes don't affect the engine cost themselves.
It doesn't?
More so just for... No, it doesn't. It's just whether or not it's on the proper agent. Like, if you put Flight of Fancy on Bernice, it will cost less.
Yeah, the
than
mindscape
put on Vivian.
The mindscapes don't change the cost of the engine. The refinement changes them.
Oh, okay, gotcha. That was my bad. I didn't know that. I thought the mindscape was considered when engine cost is selected as well.
No, that's one of the main reasons mindscapes tend to cost even more is because they take more advantage of the SIG.
Oh, I don't have Yuzuha's signature in here. I thought I did do that from a profile too. Now I would have to choose that. So right now, if I were to leave it as this, I cannot choose Evelyn's signature or even any other of her regular engines at this point because of the cost would go over. So I'm gonna have to probably do I'm gonna have to probably not select Astra Sig for her, and I'll probably use that one. Oh my goodness, I have to really lowball now.
Yeah, that happens.
So you still need to save one more cost to get at least Marcato on his thing, and he's going to do that by... Oh, I just removed the Kaleda signature, never mind.
Yeah, I just removed the Kaleda signature. And then my only option to select for the engine for Kaleda is right here.
The box cutter.
Huge. Let's see if I can do one other switch here.
Yeah, like, I would honestly have personally, like, I think this is, like, correct. I would personally have not gone for Bernie's signature over either of Vivian or Evelyn's signatures. I think if you're going to get a signature there, it's between one of those two, and it's probably Evelyn, if I'm being honest.
Evelyn should definitely... You should try to get Evelyn sick. That's definitely... If it's possible.
So... I mean, I could go this route, but I don't think Kaleda really utilizes all of Lighter's engine. But it still would probably be best to go that route for the stun windows.
Just building up the basics for Blazing Laurel's effect is a little strenuous with Kaleda, because her basics are very slow and do not hit a lot. Like, she only has, like, single hit basics or for most of her attacks, so building those stacks is hard.
So just gonna try to do this here. So we're gonna try this route actually, so that way I can get the most of my cost. So if I wanted to max out at 58 to try to get at 60, this would probably be how I'd go.
I think honestly that's not too bad.
Yeah.
I think that this does end up coming down to the efficacy of Marcato in this team, but like with being stun oriented, it shouldn't be the worst thing in the world. Whether it is comparable to what engines I have on my agents is another story, but well, you'll just have to judge that for yourselves.
So then I would.
Here comes. This is the best example, if I can shortly tell that. This is the best example for you guys to see that having low-cost engines in your roster for PvP is quite important, because if you only have signature weapons or high-cost engines, S rank all included, it may happen that you have to play matches without engines in the worst case. So always have some A rank engines as options for your teams.
Yeah.
So
So after this point in the draft, since both players have readied up with their teams and their engines, there would normally be a time to change your builds accordingly and then play the match in the thing. We aren't going to do that for this episode, but feel free to comment in down below who you think wins this match if it was played.
I already
Might
know
actually end up just doing. I might end up just doing these runs a little bit later, just for fun, and submitting a time, just because.
Yeah.
No. Start a prediction. Steph, start a prediction.
Prediction. Yeah,
Let's go.
Who do you think wins? And y'all play it. Y'all play it off stream, and
Well, we might play it off stream, but I know Savadra has a tight schedule that I want him to, that he probably wants to get to.
Yeah, but unless you have anything else with specifics for this, I don't have anything else.
So that is the
draft
basics.
portion.
That's the basic of drafts. Do we have any like particular strategies that Dio or Thirsty want to comment for when we were drafting this? Dio, I heard some lingerings from you.
Yeah, you had some
Oh, yeah.
observations.
I always do. I would have just straight up stolen the Astro away. You needed it for your comp, and if you took it away, it would have been unfortunate. He took the lighter anyway.
He is in Savadra.
That's me.
Yeah.
the one and only.
Said there was something early in the draft when I was at like the Yafufu Juyen
Oh,
pick. You said you saw some kind of
wouldn't
angle.
have- I would have done like a Jane Vivian. Instead of locking in the GUN.
I mean, it comes drafting is individual, and everyone
you
has
were-
a different perspective.
Yeah, you were very much just wanting to run crit needs, and I don't judge you for that. So
Yeah, I did kind of choose that with having that option in mind, but the Jane Vivian pick would have also been very powerful. I would have been basically forced to mirror Vivian at that point, and then could have also stolen away the Astra earlier, which would have been more beneficial for me.
Yeah.
You could have went like pick Jane, ban lighter, grab Vivian. But that's not what you're going for.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, like, at that point makes Evelyn a dead pick because he's forced to mirror, like, Astra and I end up banning a lighter, or he picks lighter and then I ban Evelyn and he doesn't have a team to use it with. Unless he also goes Crit Bernice. But, like, yeah,
I
there are a lot
could
of
have done Crit
different
Bernice.
outcomes. There are a
I
lot
have
of
that
different
ready.
outcomes that you can consider with these types of things. And, like, it's really fun, in my opinion. It's, like, part of why I'm part of this team is I really find these dynamics really fun.
And it's always different. Each match is different picks, different bans, different outcomes. It's quite funny. There's so many things to consider, and you learn new perspectives of how to play Zenless on Zero. Apparently,
With the fact that you have to try out new teams is basically what team this game is all about, is trying out very much new teams or interesting teams.
Like,
Exactly.
probably Bernice Lighter Yuzuha was not on the forefront of many people's minds, but it was on mine while I was drafting. That comes with experience. I think similar to people not considering Evelyn and Kaleda like as an option because probably panicking a little too much at the, oh no, I can't
Yes.
get lighter from my Evelyn. Woe is me. What do I do?
Oh well, yeah. Yusuha is very versatile, and some people don't expect it, but she works pretty well with regular attack agents as well. I like to use her with Korin in the team. I also like her to use with Haramasa, apparently. So yeah, there's plenty of options, and you can build Yusuha also as a fake impactor or fake attacker. There's options to those things. So, and PvP brings that forth.
Yeah, give it a try if you're interested. Link to the Discord will be in the description of the video when Softy makes that.
Yep. One other thing I want to point out for drafting wise is if I did not pick Haramasa instead of Evelyn, or if I picked a support, so if I would have picked Astra instead of Evelyn, we could have gotten banned for my Evelyn, and then he could have wild carded, or I could have wild carded Haramasa. I forgot which order it would have been me.
It would have been you first.
So I could have took that, and that way he could not have selected Haramasa on the second route. I could have done that, but I just, like I said, I'm not as prone to Haramasa. I think I might have accidentally added that to my profile when I was playing around with it. But yeah, I had to definitely pick between Evelyn and Haramasa, and I chose who I would be best with.
Yeah, a lot of options. Now I also would have left Chingy open if I banned Evelyn instead of Chingy, so he could have also gone a DPS Chingy angle, just to throw another one into the ring there.
Yeah, I
True.
played it, and I think I have the build for it, so I'm not comfortable with it, so...
Yes, Jing is so much fun.
it's really good.
I do
Yeah.
like Earthquake.
All right.
Sweet.
Do you have any other points to go over for post draft here, or?
For this post draft, I don't think so. Can you just pull up a draft and just show our rosters with the basics and just pause it through the judge, and we just sort of show our rosters against each other?
Sure.
So just
do
create
the same draft.
Yep, just do the same draft.
And this I think was profile 3, and yours was accounts. The mage. Oh nope. Okay, never mind. We're good.
So just do create, and then you can just share it, yep, through the judge.
Oh yeah, we had to choose a node again. I don't think
you
it really
can-
matters.
Yeah, you can.
Okay. Right.
So I'll just pause it. So when looking at your account, always account for your account creation of what you're comfortable with playing, and also what your opponent could possibly do for account picking of characters. Don't always just think of your own account for what you can build. Look at both accounts to be sure. I mean, for beginners, definitely just concentrate on who you can play. But it's just good to have to look at both accounts fully.
As time goes on, it's imperative to understand the vast majority of your overlap in what you're gonna overlap with most opponents is likely going to be supports over DPSs. So as you can see, our choice, going by line, our choices in DPSs differ. Softy has Evelyn and Korin, and I have a few more crit agents, and also Nekomata, with also Haramasa and Jurien. But We share 2 stunners in Jofufu and Lighter. We differ in 2 stunners otherwise. But our Anomaly roster, I have all of Softy's Anomaly roster, but also have Miyabi. Or not Miyabi, I also have Yanagi. It's my bad. And we also share most of the supports. I have Yuzuha, Astra, Sokaku, Nicole. He has same ones. We only differ in Rina versus Lucy in this profile. And then I don't have Yishuan or Caesar. So, like, not understanding, like, kind of, you're going to see a fair bit of that with, like, most of the high caliber supports or high caliber DPSs. If you are someone who pulls with regards to those things, there is a very high chance that that's going to be an overlap thing for both you and your opponent, and to keep considerations in mind for if you are not able to play those like in a given draft because they get banned out, or because funky situations come up and you have to draft a little differently, to be prepared for that. Basically, do not always rely on your strongest characters.
A tip that I want to go for banning purposes, if for beginners, it is probably always good to ban, like I said earlier, that since I do not have Yanagi, I would ban that, so that way the Savadra couldn't pick that, and it wouldn't hurt my roster at all when it comes to selecting agents. That is probably a beginner tip for banning purposes. If you want to go more intricate, like say you know that Miyabi is a very high cost agent and is very easy to play, and you just want to ban it for that reason, that is another way to go that as well. Looking at Mindscapes is another good thing. So Savadra, if he looked at my Mindscape for Vivian, that is usually what people pick for their first ban on my account, is a Vivian M1. So if he would have saw that, oh, Vivian's M1, I should probably get rid of that, so that way his he's less likely to use the that option for his teams. That would probably be one thing to go off of. So Miyabi, for my account, I usually see bannings first is Miyabi and Vivian, and other than that, that would certainly hinder Savadra's account because he has both those agents, but it would still hinder my account even more because those agents do cost a lot more for engine costs, or for agent costs in general, for when you're going to select agent engines as well.
Mm-hmm.
Do we want to go any we did go over wild cards, the fact that the top 3 are the only ones you can wild card of your opponents, so the fact that I could only, if we want to go back to the regular draft that we had before.
Oh, you mean mirror pick?
Yeah, mirror pick, sorry. What
Yeah,
did I say? Wild card again? Oh my goodness.
Yeah, it's
I can kind of progress through this as just to kind of get to the thing. But like these won't really matter for in terms of like actual picks, so I'm just gonna kind of pick random things just to get through the thing. Whatever's closest to my mouse, because I played Aim Labs, aka Attack Shooters or whatever. Anyway, so here we are.
So
the mirror pick.
So the mirror pick. So the only agents that I could pick right now for mirror picks is Pulchra, Lycon, and Juyuan. I actually do not have any of these agents on my account. So right here would be I'd have to steal something from.
So yeah, given the rest of the agents are still lit up, he can choose whatever agent he wants. He can also just essentially use this as a standard pick, stealing away someone that I would then not be able to pick. So like I was talking about the M1 Vivian. If you chose to pick Vivian on this square, you will notice that Vivian is now grayed out for me. I cannot choose Vivian on this pick, despite it being a mirror pick. That is mostly by design, as in that's the site developer's thing, and you can't do anything about that. And I honestly don't hate the idea by itself. It's just something that's important to point out, because that has caused some confusion in the past. But yeah, like the same thing. If I do a support here, like Yuzuha, cannot pick on this mirror pick because he chose it on that square.
Sweet Depravity has talked.
Oh, pre-bans. That's actually a good
pre-bans.
Go ahead and.
But it's relatively.
Oh, was that in the live chat here?
Yeah, that was in us. That was in your chat.
Oh, I did not see this. That's my fault. All right. Pre-bans. So
you can
if you go to the draft systems tab on the website, you can look at any of the draft systems, and you can see in their in their settings, there's a single number in the cost settings called cost limit. This number dictates what is the pre-ban. That's a lie. That's not the cost limits. It's this one down here. In the pre-ban, it's labeled as such. This is the number that determines what threshold for difference of cost will give you a pre-ban. And so if I were to make a draft with agent cost disparity, that's difference, or like as high or greater than that difference, like if it's 125 or higher, let's go like Thirsty Blood. I can type. Oh my god, I can type. There we go.
I believe.
So just from my default profile 2 and his account, you can see our cost difference is $13.95 and $8.20 or $18.20, and that is a cost difference of $425. Given the pre-ban threshold is 125, that would mean that in our draft, this would warrant 3 pre-bans because of a difference of 375. Because 125 times 3 is 375. And this scales and goes up as or goes down or goes up based on bigger disparities in cost. I think my profile 1 should give me another pre-ban. Another 2 pre-bans, actually. Holy moly.
5 pre-bans.
But I think if I go to my account, I should probably get only 1 at most, if none. Yeah. So we're pretty much even in cost on our account profiles, but
my other account is lower. So in this case, if you change it to profile 1, I think I would get pre-bans on you. Yeah.
You get 4 pre-bans on me with that difference. And how those basically play is those are just extra bans that the other player gets before regulation. So those just play out exactly how you think they would.
You see the numbers here. So you can basically ban straight 4 agents on the enemy. And there were issues in the past. And the pre-ban issue currently is best solved with the group ranges of between 400 and 600 points. Like, let's say you want to play a match with people, then you say, cost range between 1,200 to 1,000, let's say 600 or 800. So you can choose the range, and the more narrow it is, the less pre-bans you will have.
I mean, if I'm gonna be honest, and nowadays those ranges are not very good. For now, we've been using a system where it's been a base cost, and whatever base cost is about the range you have.
Yeah, when you try to find matches, try to get your profiles in sync, so that way there's very less pre-bans. But I know it's still hard for some people to get accounts as high as some other accounts, so there may be a chance of that.
It's options.
Yeah.
It's options. Simple as that. There's many ways to play PvP, and there's just we have some solutions that help certain instances or issues.
Yeah.
So with the fact that Thirsty had many pre-bans on Savadra, if I'm on that, he could really just take out all his let's say anomaly agents, so that way has to rely on attackers, and that could be a strategy for a for Thirsty right there. Is to just take out all the anomalies.
All the anomalies that he doesn't have, he can even like choose to take one that he does have if he so chooses, but
Like you might take out your Bernie, for
Let's
instance.
kick the Bernies, yeah.
because the like Mindscape difference, or he could then just like then choose either something else, or like I think lighter would also be a good option here just to cripple that even further. But yeah, like as you can see, like having a good number of pre-bans is very strong.
That's why I probably would always suggest it when you're doing profile matchmaking, make sure to try to keep them similar, or else this might hurt Savadra severely if all of his anomalies was banned. Or let's just say if he only had a few a few supports, so you could ban all of the supports, and then Savadra only has attack agents to go with. So that's just a thing to be ready for if you were to have a account that is higher than another account, is that you could be pre-banned into a certain way. So again, when you're trying to do matchmaking, always just try to do a similar score. But if you have to, you have to.
It is what it is when it comes up. It's like we just try to avoid it just to make matches even best we can, like just on ourselves, but it's entirely up to you. You don't have to avoid it, or like it'll probably be avoided if you're like in a kind of medium low cost situation anyway. But yeah, it's entirely player experience stuff.
You will find out by playing it regularly with some people, and everyone has quite a bit of knowledge already in the server, and most of the people are, well, if not all, are very open to help you.
Is this a good place to end things, or we have a little more?
Nope, I think we've gone over everything for the how to draft. So let's go to some tips and Q&A question. One of the key things we want to do for tips is mindset. What is the mindset that people should be have when they are doing drafts?
Thirsty has said it multiple times. I will say it again. We primarily play these things for fun. PvP is just a secondary, very arbitrary game mode, quote unquote, that mostly serves as a encouragement to try out a different way of playing the game with not your best teams, or by mix and matching and diversifying your teams such that you can optimize things in a different manner than you may be used to, or just for the sake of experimenting. If that appeals to you, fantastic. We would love to have you. I know that it does not appeal to everyone, and that's completely fine. You do not have to subject yourself to doing this any more than you enjoy doing so. There's no reason or no need to get caught up in trying to quote be the best. There's no need to like take it like as anything, like personal or whatever. It's competition at the end of the day, but we at the server do try to inspire a healthy competitive spirit and good culture around helping others improve first. So if you are interested in joining and you are either wary of like you're not good enough to join, or you think you like won't be able to do well, that's completely okay. Everyone starts somewhere. We are here to help you. The point is not to either like bully or shame you for like not being the best player. What matters is we're all having fun. And I personally have a lot of fun helping others improve. So this is a means by which for me to talk about doing things in a more fundamental way with a bunch of diverse options with a lot of teams. I'm fluent in all the teams that I am because I like understanding agent mechanics and just experimenting. Then I think that's completely fine as a way to play the game. If you're playing just for meta, that's also completely fine. Everyone plays the game differently, but you do not have to be the best or like be the most dedicated or like highest spending player to get into this type of thing.
Right. Like I can also add that nobody has to adapt his account to PvP or should get the feeling to be forced to play PvP because everyone is playing the meta. No, not really. Like there's so many possibilities you have in PvP, and it's not required for you to always go for meta or pull this character so you can play PvP. This is not the thing here. It is entertainment. It is fun. It brings so many new ideas to the game. You understand more. You actually also communicate with people that share the same interest. It's a whole healthy community thing that we are striving for. And this is our main instance here. If we talk about tournaments, you have to be aware if you're a participant, yes, things will get sweaty, things will get competitive. This is a natural flow of a tournament. But again, the biggest premise we have in the server, even for our tournaments, is not winning, but having fun and, having friendly competition.
I was going to say you can lose, you will lose. Don't beat yourself up because you lost one.
Yeah, indeed. I've lost plenty of times, honestly. Sometimes because I'm skill issued, sometimes because I'm stupid at drafting. I mean, imagine being someone who actually was one of the first people of the PvP, but hasn't played ever since. So yeah, that's also like, it happens. But it's fine, it's super fun. Yeah.
We will definitely be linking Thirsty Blood's initial video for PvP in the description of this video, because that'll be even just a basics of how to get yourself set up. If we did miss something, he does have a 12-minute video on how to set things up in a short form. So
yeah, it's a little bit outdated on the.
Yeah, we might want to remake that.
We might want to remake that, but for right now, we'll still post
We'll
it.
get there.
I mean, the core principles are still fine. The only thing is the interfaces of sheer data have changed a little bit, and there's new modes, so it will be definitely required to have an update by around next year. That's for sure. But yeah, the core principles are still valid, and this video is pretty compact. It is like 3 months of collected knowledge between all the test players of the PvP, and yeah, this is a very good first step to get a good know-how into the PvP if the live stream was too long or You still didn't get everything you need to know, my guide has everything answered for you if you have any questions left.
Last order. Now I want pizza. How dare you?
Pizza is a good thing actually, but I ate Asian buffet today, so I'm still full.
One other
I think my
mindset.
YouTube is doing the thing that I'm looping, so I'm going to quickly fix that. Go ahead.
One other mindset I want to say that you want to make sure you are ready to play an interesting team. Don't just always go into a draft thinking that you're going to be able to pick your high priority team. Be ready to play an out of meta or out of sync team, like my Evelyn and Kaleda that I would have had to choose. I am very much probably not comfortable with that, but I should be still ready to play that team. And I just don't be set on the fact that, oh, if I have Evelyn, I'll always just get the Lighter and Astra pick. No, that's probably never going to happen. So you should probably be ready to play an off-meta agent with your main DPS or what you choose.
Yeah.
We did go over some ban tips. What else do we want to do? One good thing to probably, when you are doing each Shiyu or DA, is to keep in mind of the buffs as well. Just for the fact that I've been horribly picking sometimes drafts because I forget about the buff, and it the buffs, whether characters combinations will help each other, or for the fact that DA has like their attacks, the attack buff right now is just more shielded towards seed and double attacks that might hinder selection for that. So just be aware of the buffs that are going on with the meta of when you're playing.
True, that's definitely one of the key plays.
So we're gonna leave it for Q&A question right now. So if you guys have any PvP questions that are here live, go ahead and do so. But I think we've gone over everything that we have for how to PvP or do Zenless Zone Zero PvP. So I do thank you, Sweet Depravity, for talking about the pre-bans, because we almost did miss that.
Yep.
Let's see here.
Appreciate that.
And then we did go over.
If there's any other like questions people new and old have, feel free to give it an ask. We can talk about it a little bit, but I'll give that a couple of minutes and then probably just top it off.
We will end with Thirsty's origin story for the PvP server, because that's just sort of an interesting thing that I think Thirsty likes posting about. So we'll end with that. But is there any questions that the field may have?
Like, people are satisfied.
Yeah, I think people are satisfied.
So.
I'm just going over the script that the outline I had for this.
Oh yeah, you can pick and choose your characters. You don't have to pick your whole roster.
You'll make characters a self-ban to stop from giving too many free beds. Yes, like the caterance of other like the trimming of your roster is very much a
Vital part.
valid and necessary thing. Recommended rather, not necessary, but recommended thing to do for either agents you don't have built or agents you're not as comfortable with. Although I do also advise, or we have advised multiple times throughout this, get used to using some off-meta a in your specific situations, as it will be beneficial to you and your flexibility, and can also potentially just route yourself in ways that others may not expect.
Yeah.
For example, Savadra's DPS Bernice, or that one is off meta. There's DPS Ching-Yis of the world. There's DPS Lycons, crit Piper. Yep, there's special builds out there that could throw people off for not choosing those agents. So if you have a secret team that you can go into, that's a good thing to have.
One funny thing Daikaku did was using Piper with Impact, and it actually worked. So there's so many things some people don't expect especially with builds and how you build an agent. Like I said before, Yuzuha is very versatile and even can act as a DPS. It works. I mean, you need certain team comps, and it's a little bit more narrow compared to other teams, but it is an option you can play into if the cards fall right and you surprise your opponent. So there's a lot of stuff, even we haven't found out yet, that work wonderfully well.
About the tier list comment, this is more of my thing. The scores are a sort of soft tier list.
Yeah. I was gonna say, like, the cost systems, factoring in all the stuff specific to the cycle that it's costed around, which includes the bosses, which inherently mean the matchups that each agent has to said boss, and then also the buffs that are present for that cycle, kind of forms the tier list on its own when those are already considered. But it's a very like small scope tier list. So if you're talking about like, has anyone done a broad like tier list? No, I don't think so. Maybe there's something in the Russian community with that, but as a whole, it takes a little time for agents to develop and age to a point where like they become either established picks or like are considered quote off meta. So it's like it's hard to do those things because the game is ever evolving.
Yeah, and there's always
it's
different bosses and buffs.
It's like not to use Parade One as an example, but they have, if I remember right, in Star Rail, they have different tier lists for the different modes. So like, we use both modes. We use both endgame. And it's constantly shifting. That's why you see tier list updates all the time over there, because it's like, well, with this cycle, it's different. With the other cycle, it's like this. It's like right now, Miyabi isn't crazy. She's pretty good because of Butcher, but the other two bosses completely lock her out. So we have to put her in this weird spot, even though she's one of the strongest characters in the game.
And because of that, she also ends up not being a priority pick, like depending on specific drafts. So if Butcher isn't chosen as a boss, for example, in a specific draft that you're playing, then it's not on the forefront of your mind to ban Miyabi, and so it's matchup dependent. It's hard to make tier lists out of that that like small scope that isn't already the cost system. If that makes sense. Can we just ban all Kaleda mans? Chat creator.
Can we ban all Fufus?
I just wanted
We
to
can
say
ban
that
Bernice
Fufu-
just to get at somebody right here.
Hey man, whoa, whoa, whoa.
I think that would
Honestly, fair points. Fair points. Ban Fufu, ban Bernice. That sounds good.
Yeah. I'm okay.
Lighter.
Okay,
Like-
fair enough.
Let's ban all the agents. We just play with A ranks and B rank engines. Let's go.
That's kind of based, actually.
Wait, truing? Honestly, that'd be cool.
This would be hilarious. This
Yeah,
would be
Nicole
an
too.
interesting challenge.
Nicole, ban everyone but Nicole.
Nicole,
Hilarious.
secret S rank confirmed.
She kind of is, though. Let's be honest.
There is no
Yeah,
secret.
she is. Yeah,
There is no secret. Like,
It is the worst kept secret in Zenless if it is a secret, but he's right.
Yeah.
It's not a secret.
In 3 years, we have White Hunter Nicole in CCC. Bet.
yeah. Where she goes back
Alright.
to the past to become that one lady in the preview.
I imagine.
With that, I think we'll end the Q&A of this podcast. Let's just do the last thing for the origin of the PvP server. So, as you probably know, we link in the description or at the end of podcast the Battle Hub server, and Thirsty Blood is the main host of that. So, Thirsty, can you go into the origin of the Battle Hub PvP server?
I can. The question is, from where should I start?
Yeah, there's a lot of places to start. I was there for I think most of them, right?
Yes. At least I think you were there when Kete started the group.
Yeah.
That asked people about PvP. But actually, this little thing started a little bit earlier with me and Daiko specifically. So I will try to quickly hover over that because I'm a yapper. I will try to make it short. So, when I started CCC, I actually joined one Discord server before everything else, before I knew it. And in this Discord server, I met Daiko, I met Nemroider, and I met our dear Seek, our wonderful commentator. And actually, PvP, before even knowing anything about other communities, me and Daiko had a PvP match in Shio. And it was like, it was just a random idea from me, like, let's see who is faster on the time. And both of us battled us in the Shio match really hard. And he actually lost at the end because I got a time that was really strong. And I wanted to make it actually happen in the other Discord server we were in because I was a moderator, but it wasn't really in the interest of the owner, which was fine, it was extra, stuff to do. At some point, the four of us left the Discord server because of changes, nothing bad to the owner, just of changes. And then we separated all each other. What we then did is I created the Battle Maniacs, my private server, and from there on we had a little grouping going on. And at this time, like I think 2 weeks or like 3 weeks after I created the server, Kete announced something about PvP. And me and Daiko were absolutely fucking hyped. I'm sorry for the word. For this thing. We both were like, we have to do this. We have to get in there. We have to help him. And so both of us actually joined the group chat because we definitely wanted to have those challenges. We wanted to work something out. And this is where the part comes where Dio came in place and some other people like the chap from Canada, etc. And there was a little group of like, I think 8 to 10 people maximum with Kete. And he was like, can you help me find a system? At this point, there was also Random Combi who introduced us to the Darter website. Yeah, we worked on this one a lot. We started testing things because there were some issues on the first place we had on our side, especially on the English community side. So especially with pre-bans, etc. It took us like 2 to 3 months to cover everything up. Most of the testing was done in my Battle Maniac server, in the private server. But the thing is, I never intended to make my server the official PvP server. Me and Daiko talked about it because it's like the home for us three maniacs. And we want to keep it simple there. So what we did is like, as I was the owner and Daikaku was the co-owner, the admin, we changed the system into the official PvP server, which is the Battle Hub. So he was the owner there at first. And yeah, in April this year, we created the Battle Hub and formed everything from there with all the people that you by now know. It was supported by Kete, of course, but it was also supported by so many other people who invested time, passion, testing, etc. into this server. We got a lot of people to know, like Sevadra, and we grow a lot, and actually shockingly higher than we ever anticipated. Like suddenly we were 50 people, 1 month later 150 people, suddenly another surge of 250 people, and it grew to until today. And some changes happened, of course, like me overtaking the Battle Hub with Sevadra, since Daikaku needed a break or a pause and left the game. And yeah, this is basically how the whole server started to shine, and now it's actually a wonderful community. And I'm proud of one thing: we haven't had any real toxicity in our server, especially for a PvP community. And I have to say that also is dependent on all of you guys who are in the community, but it was also heavily emphasized by us, the team, by Sevadra and me. And as long as I am the owner, I will definitely care for that we have a place for just having fun and having friendly competition. And this is basically all of a short version of the how the Battle Hub was actually created.
So what I'm hearing is I'm not being toxic enough.
Don't.
You
go
will
there.
get your head will cut
This
off
is
if
a
you start
challenge.
it. Your
This
your
is
head
a
will cut off by me.
Bro said, "That's a challenge."
Challenge accepted. I will come to your place. I will find out where you sleep. Don't worry about it. You will be my next nuts donator, in fact. No, but for real, this all couldn't have been happened if it wouldn't have been for the team, because I never intended actually to have 2 servers or care so much for everything alone. So I'm really glad that there's so many passionate people who want to support this idea. And yeah, I hope we can keep growing and keep having fun. And this is the basic principle I follow, and I want to also share with all of you.
And the battle.
Thank
the battle-
you. Thank you for having us.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you.
The one thing I want to last post is that the Battle Hub server is mainly towards PvP, but if you want to join to get to learn how to do PvP, or just want to join to just to watch other people PvP, we'll gladly have you aboard on our Discord server, and that'll be linked in this video. Again, like we do at the end of all of our other videos.
Even if you're not interested in strictly PvP, we do a lot of stuff revolving around endgame overall, as you can kind of tell by the fact that we do this podcast in the first place. We have a ton of people from all around several few communities that are just all endgame enthusiasts. And as we mentioned earlier, we are always here to help you first. So if that is something that interests you, if you want to get some help, if you want to do whatever it is you want to do with endgame specific stuff, come aboard. We'll be waiting.
Indeed. Oh, and we also have server events, which is actually pretty specific, honestly, I think, in our server.
That is true.
Yeah, and this is not PvP related. What we have is special events regarding currently just Deadly Assault. And these little challenges are open for anyone who want to play there. There is no really strict form apart from the rules for the challenge. And well, what you have to do is you have to make videos to confirm everything, so there's no cheating around. And what we do is like once a month, we do this DA challenge, and there's for the first place there's a little goodie of monthly battle pass. and they're super fun and people love them quite a lot. Sometimes they can be very difficult, sometimes they're rather easy, but all in all, I think we never had someone win it twice in a row or anything, so it seems to be well balanced as well, and yeah, it's just for fun.
Yeah.
And with that,
Well said. Well put.
we're gonna go to the intro here. Savadro, where can we find you, other than on this Twitch stream that you're already on?
Yes. So, if you're on the Outpost Investigators stream where this was live co-streamed, I also have my own personal Twitch channel, which I finally streamed on again after. Wait, my mic was just muted on stream. It's over, bro. Okay.
Oh no!
Oh my god, bro! You're so cool.
It's not muted on my stream.
I was not muted in Discord, but I was muted on stream. It's over, man.
Oh no.
All right. Anyway,
You should just retire. You're cooked.
So if you were in the Scott Outposts stream that this was co-streamed with, I am currently streaming on my own Twitch channel, which I started streaming on again today after like 2.5, 3 months or so of not doing so, just because life got busy and also we hosted the tournament. But yeah, I usually stream on Twitch most of the time. I will sometimes upload to YouTube at my channel of the same username, at Savadra. And I am otherwise mostly just a Discord denizen. You can find me around Battle Hub and probably several other places every now and again. But yeah, come say hi if you wish, or don't. I'm not your dad.
Thirsty, where can we find you?
Mainly in the Battle Hub server, but also my content is mainly put on YouTube. I have a wonderful YouTube channel called Random Blood Gaming. And yeah, I post pretty much random videos, but currently focus more on CCC. We will see what the future brings, but for now it's mainly on that part. Sometimes I do speedruns, sometimes I do funny stuff. Yeah, as the name says, this is program.
Dio, where can we find you?
Well, I don't have my own personal YouTube that I operate, but I am one of the main operators for the Zenless Fights YouTube and Twitch being the main one. I will try to do weekly tournaments, maybe twice a week tournament. It just depends on how well people can organize.
And I myself am a DA runner with, I usually do some kind of a sound or some kind of twist within that DA runs on my YouTube channel. I have been streaming a little more, but otherwise, mostly I do YouTube content posts for that just are that I think are interesting. So, and with that, we're signing out. Take care, and you guys have a good day.
Go
Have a
for the
good day.
Battle Throne.
And good night.